With news circulating of Manny Pacquiao possibility of facing Gennady Golovkin, Triple G former trainer, some say former promoter really, Sanchez made his return from retirement, at least when it comes to speaking about Gennady Golovkin, promoting him in a way. Sanchez, for the people that don't know, he put his reputation on the line for Gennady Golovkin, and Gennady Golovkin pretty much turned his back on him after he used him for Mexican style. They part ways around the same time Gennady Golovkin signed with DAZN for $100 million, coming off a loss to Canelo Alvarez in an embarrassing fashion, claiming Mexican style. However, he did not keep the same energy fight night because he fought like Muhammad Ali style. There's nothing wrong with that, but keep the same energy, don't flip, especially when you call Canelo Alvarez a runner. With that being said, Sanchez gave his thoughts on a possible fight between Manny Pacquiao and Gennady Golovkin, where he stated, and I quote, "Manny Pacquiao is a small fighter. I believe he started as a flyweight, so the size difference will make a difference. I see Manny having his moments early in the fight, but Gennady Golovkin is no Margarito. Golovkin will hurt Manny. Manny, even at his advanced age, is still a good fighter. His hand speed and experience will be a problem for most welterweights in the world." End of the quote. Now, what intrigued me the most is what Sanchez said about how well Pacquiao is going to perform early on versus a Gennady Golovkin, even though PACMan had to put rocks in his pocket in order to make flyweight when he first turned pro. On the other hand, Gennady Golovkin started his amateur career as a middleweight. And it's clear as day that Sanchez is no longer biased toward Gennady Golovkin. He's given us his honest take. And even though Pacquiao is the smaller guy, he still believes he will trouble Gennady Golovkin early on, that's the most shocking part. We all pretty much know Gennady Golovkin should be the favorite versus a Manny Pacquiao, not because he's better than Pacquiao, absolutely not. However, it's due to the huge size disadvantage that Pacquiao has to overcome, which is nearly impossible. That's asking too much of Pacquiao. One fighter started his career as a flyweight, another fighter started his career as a middleweight. So, of course, matter of fact, Gennady Golovkin should win the fight. But it's embarrassing to say Manny Pacquiao will perform well early on. That's just another validation of Gennady Golovkin being the most overhyped fighter of all time. I mean, can you believe ESPN put Gennady Golovkin on the top 20 of the best fighters of the past 25 years when Gennady Golovkin haven't proved a damn thing as a pro? Especially around the time they made the list, he haven't even fought a Kell Brook. And to make matter worse, his pro career afterwards turned out to be a failure, according to his biggest supporters, Jim Lampley and Max Kellerman, which I'm gonna leave them videos in the comment section below. So to suggest or point out Pacquiao performing well early on against Gennady Golovkin only shows how overrated Gennady Golovkin is. Because yes, you could say Gennady Golovkin ain't Margarito or Oscar de la Hoya. However, one thing for sure, he's not even close to being an Oscar de la Hoya. He is not even the half a fighter that Oscar de la Hoya was. Oscar de la Hoya moved up multiple divisions and fought the best. Gennady Golovkin is still stuck at middleweight his whole career and ain't even fighting the best in his own division, ducking the likes of Charlos and Andrade for the longest. But nevertheless, that's beside the point. The point is, if Gennady Golovkin is a natural welterweight, we don't even have to compare him to Manny Pacquiao, where he moved up 8 different divisions. We don't have to shrink Gennady Golovkin to a lightweight or none of the above. Let's just say Gennady Golovkin is a natural welterweight, and he fought his whole career at welterweight instead of middleweight. If he fights Manny Pacquiao today, Manny Pacquiao will wash him. Because unlike Margarito, Gennady Golovkin doesn't fight Mexican style like he claims. Matter of fact, his last fight with Devyachenko, we saw clearly the opposite. It was Devyachenko who was fighting Mexican style. He was just claiming that for promotion. With that being said, Gennady Golovkin fights at a distance. He prefers to fight at range, which that's pretty much going to be his kryptonite against Manny Pacquiao, because he's just going to be a sitting duck for that straight left hand that Pacquiao loves to throw from all type of angles. And with Gennady Golovkin, horrible defense, he pretty much going to end up being a punching bag. The only thing that's going to save the day for Gennady Golovkin so he won't get stopped by a 41 years old Pacquiao is his jab, just like it saved him versus Devyachenko, which is another fight he pretty much lost. So my point is, if a fighter moves up enough weight classes, he will eventually lose, especially making a foolish weight jump where he's moving up 2 weight divisions on top of 8 weight divisions. That's like Sugar Ray Leonard fighting a Klitschko. Of course, Sugar Ray Leonard is a better fighter, but if you drag him to heavyweight, he pretty much gonna lose the bout, and we don't even have to go that far up. If you throw Sugar Ray Leonard in there with a Usyk today at cruiserweight, he also gonna lose that bout, not because he's not the superior fighter, but it's just too much of a weight jump. Sugar Ray Leonard fought as high up as 175 and 168, I believe. So him moving up another 25 pounds is just too much of a huge weight disadvantage. And that's pretty much Pacquiao versus Gennady Golovkin. I mean, Gennady Golovkin haven't moved a pound from 160 besides fighting Steve, who was also touching him up, even though we never heard of him. So to suggest that Pacquiao will perform pretty well against a Gennady Golovkin, even though he already moved up 8 weight divisions and he will be moving up 9 to 10 weight divisions to fight a Gennady Golovkin, is a horrible look on Gennady Golovkin himself. If Triple G is even 10% of the fighter that old media hyped him out to be, the conversation should be Gennady Golovkin will annihilate 41 years old grandpa / senator. That's the conversation we should be having, not Pacquiao having success early on during the fight. I mean, can you picture if Errol Spence is fighting at 160 and Manny Pacquiao challenged Errol Spence at 160? The headlines will read as follow: Manny Pacquiao wants to commit suicide. May he rest in peace because Errol Spence is about to kill him. That's what the headlines will read as. So that's just another indication to show how much Gennady Golovkin was overhyped and is still overhyped to this day. I mean, they still have this man on the pound for pound list, even though he's pretty much coming off a loss. It ain't a coincidence that Gennady Golovkin will go down as the most overhyped fighter in the history of boxing. I know this is slap to old media, but they did it to themselves. So with the facts being laid out, drop in the comment section below. What is y'all take on Sanchez and his comments? Of course, Sanchez gave us plenty classic moments debating with Dante. Pardon me, getting schooled by Dante. Nevertheless, they were classic moments. He put his reputation on the line, and Gennady Golovkin threw him out of the window. So with that being said, subscribe below. If you're trying to get smart about a minute, if you're trying to get dumb about a second, don't listen to these decafs, aka dumb casual ass fans / old media. Shout out to my man Dante DBN for being the entrepreneur of new media that I'm a part of. And if you're a casual fan and you want to be a hardcore, all you have to do is click on the notification bell to get notified every time I post or go live on Split Decision. It's a boxing debate / talk show where Akhi is the past, present, and future when it comes to debating. Akhi undisputed, and yes, it's called Split Decision, but you won't get saved by the bell. because I'm knocking you straight out. So all the decafs call in, all my Akhis call in so we could talk boxing. I got another show called Boxing Hood coming to Akhi TV. So click on that like button, click on that subscribe button, click on that notification button. It ain't even no bell because ain't no Joe Button out here. We ain't running from Migos. I want my Akhis to call in. Even my Akhis could get it. So they treating me like the Iron Mike Tyson over here, the most feared when it comes to debating. With 500-0, my record better than Floyd's when it comes to debating. So call in, tune in, and to be continued on the next episode of Akhi TV. Peace, and we out of here.